Okay, what is up, guys? This video goes out to Aaron, Mr. Monkey Bones. So, if you guys don't know, I started a Unturned server recently, and I did that through following a video. The video was quite difficult in its steps, and if you can give me a second so I can actually edit the scene here so the window isn't like this. There we go. So anyways, yeah, I had trouble following the video. He had trouble following the video. So I just want to get this straight out of the way. And so let's do this. So basically, if you don't know what Unturned is, it's this game on Roblox. If you don't know it, it's surviving zombies and stuff. But this game more looks like it's Roblox, but smoother textures, if you know what I mean. Anyways, the object is to survive, build a base, etc. So there's a multiplayer option, so you can play multiplayer and single player, so that's nice. But when I went to go set up the server, I was having so much problems. I was just about to give up, and the reason why is because I don't know how to explain it. MySQL was acting up. So basically, there's two ways of doing this. There's one, doing it the normal way, and there's two where you can make a modded server. Now, people don't have to download any mods because the modded server uses plugins. That's the whole point. Now, let's get this straight. So first off, in order to do this, you will definitely need to locate your unturned directory. So to do that, we will need to go to our games. So go to your games library. You need to find Unturned. If you don't have it installed, you need to install it. It only takes about 10 minutes for me anyways. It shouldn't take that long to download. It's not a big game. So so go to Properties, go to Local Files, and browse local files. Now, depending on what you want to do, you can either do one, plain simple server, and if you're going to do that, you do not need MySQL, because that will be a plain simple server, no plugins. So an example would be Feast. That's a plugin. So the way Feast works is that after so long, a place is randomly picked for it to happen. At that place, when it happens, it's still either one, you can choose it to drop from the sky from a plane, or two is how do I explain two? Or two, you can just have it spawn. I have mine set on my server to drop from a plane, so that's my server. Now, I'll show you guys my server after this. So what you want to do first is, first off, you want to know if you want a plain vanilla server or a server with plugins. And then you will need to create a shortcut of Unturned, and I'm just going to show you the properties of this one. If I can, I'm gonna show you the properties of this one. So the map isn't PEI, I have it actually set to Washington. So what you want to do is, after you make the shortcut, you will need to put, after the, like this, you need to put the following. I'll put it in the, if I can even get to it. So it's a nographics batch mode, secure server, and then you would put a / whatever you'd like to call it, and then the server name. So after you do that, when it runs, wait 5 seconds, and then you'll see a section called servers. You'll want to go in there, and that's where everything will be at for it. But I'm going to show you how to do a modded server, because that was how you would set up a vanilla. That's it. That is basically it. If you're looking for like greetings and stuff, you can follow me in the not vanilla, and this one. I will also show you how to port forward. Now, port forwarding is different based on what you use. For a modem, So that's gonna take some time. But first off, I got some links here, and I'm just using the video I watched to do this. So, yep, this is the dude who was having some problems. So, Ariane, no, I'm working on that. This video for you right now. So, anyways, the first one you'll need to get is now. You don't have to get Uconomy, but I would recommend it because that way you have some sort of currency, and then you can get Zap Economy Essentials, and that all requires MySQL. So I'll include MySQL, but what you'll need to do after you download MySQL is locate its folder. So for me, that would be Windows C because I'm on a 64-bit system, program files, and then we'll go to MySQL. And then MySQL Server 5.5. Now, usually you'd get your server set up first, but I'm just showing you this the way I can. And then we'll need to go to bin. Now the server version may change depending on if they release any updates, and then you'll need to launch MySQL instance config. And remember the password in it because you'll need that password in order to set it up. So just follow what I do in here and say yes to that. Alright, make sure it says reconfigure instance or whatever it says at the top. Make sure the top is checked there. Make sure make sure it's set to a server machine here. Make sure it's multifunction database here. Next. Make sure everything's like this. Next. Enable TCP IP networking. Make sure it's like that. Make sure the port is 3306. Enable strict mode. I just have that enabled. I don't know what it's for. That you can skip. This you can skip. And then the current root password. So the username is going to be root. So what I have set for the password is password. So we're just going to press cancel there because I already have mine set up. But you'd press execute after you get your password in. After you get your password in, you'll need to make sure that you've created this server. So the way you can do that is we'll just take this. We'll go. You create this, and then I don't want to run it. No. So we'll need to go into properties here, and then I'll paste this what I have. But after there usually should be a I don't know how to explain it, but there will be quotation marks or whatever, and then you put no graphics, batch mode, secure server, or you could do LAN server depending if you just want it on LAN, and then this slash or whatever you like to call it, and then the server name you want for the folder, and then you put another quotation mark at the end of it. So after you do that, and after you let your server run for about 5 seconds, you'll get whatever your server's named. Now, you won't have Rocket at first, so let's go ahead and show you where you get Rocket. So, now this, I'm sure you're continuing here for watching Rocket. So, you'll click the link. That's not the Rocket plugin, my bad. Alright, so you need to go to dev.rocketmod.net, and you need to click on Get Rocket. Now, depending on what you use, it could be different. So make sure you put, I'm going to press Get Rocket. So it's saying Unity 3D Game Server Mod. Make sure you select Rocket for Unturned, and then this one it would be the one you would use. And then you'll get a zip file. And what you want to do with that zip file is go to Unturned Data, Managed, and then you drop it in here. So, see, it's Rocket. Now, the reason why you have to before I forget, make sure to, if you're going the modded way, that you copy the folder and paste it somewhere, because if you don't, let me show you what will happen. So, this is the copied folder. It's gonna load up. It's saying loading effects, animals, blah blah blah, that and that. Now you'll get this Rocket. Note: you cannot play Unturned with Rocket installed. Rocket is a mod for Unturned 3 servers only. Please read the wiki in order to find out how to host Rocket servers. So, yeah, kind of sad. I just want to exit. Thank you. So, hopefully, maybe they just create a small little packet. Maybe, and that way you don't have to go through all this hassle of doing that. So now, afterwards, after you've ran the server once, you'll need, now if you want to use Uconomy and Zap Economy Essentials, you'll need to get HIDI SQL, I believe that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? Show all downloads. HIDI SQL, and then so I'll put that link in the description as well, because this dude didn't have it in the description. So after you get HIDI installed, you'll need to run it. So HIDI SQL, or however you say it, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. And then the username is going to be root, and the password is going to be the password you set in MySQL. So after you press open, you're not going to see this unturned Uconomy stuff here. So what you'll need to do is make sure you create a new session before. So you'll need to right click here, and you'll need to create after you right click, you need to actually click inside here and click where is it? Oh yeah, create new and then database. And then you need to name the database Unturned, else if you don't do that, it'll come up with a bunch of errors when you go to do this. And I don't want you guys to have errors. I'm doing this so you guys know so you guys know how to host a server. That's why I'm doing this. Plus, someone was having trouble, so I don't. Anyways, yeah, so there's that. So after you have that set up, you'll need to download Uconomy, and then if you want, you can download Zap Economy Essentials. Now, both need MySQL, obviously. So Zap Economy is for so if you had Zap Shop, you could get Zap Economy, and say you kill a zombie with the Zap Economy, it rewards you for how many zombies you kill and stuff. I don't have that quite working on my server, and I'm not going to go into detail with the Zap Economy. If you guys want me to do a tutorial on it, I can try to do one. That's no problem. Just go ahead and post on this video if you want me to do a tutorial on Zap Economy and Zap Shop. So, and Zap Shop won't work correctly without MySQL installed. So, that's another thing to look at. Afterwards, after you get Rocket installed, you'll go to servers, your server name, and you'll see Rocket here. I forgot to mention you'll need to run the server again. But you'll see Rocket here, and then you can go into Rocket, plugins, and then you can drop Uconomy and Zap Economy Essentials in here if you want. And then if you have Uconomy already, you'll need to go run the server again, stop it, and then make sure you type shutdown when you go to stop it. Don't X out. Then you need to click, actually, I know what we forgot to do. I'm sorry. Before we go into all that stuff, we need to go to permissions back up one. You need to go into the server and this server folder in your server folder. Yeah, it's odd. And then you need to go to commands. And then, so what you'll need to do is put name at the top and the name of the server you want it. You want the name of the server you want it to be. Now, that's what it'll appear as to others in the server list. Now, map, there's Washington, PEI. There's all sorts of maps, and someone has a birthday coming up. Anyways, there's all sorts of maps. There's user made maps, which I do not know how to put in there, so you'll have to search up a video on that. Now, part we'll use the part later on. So what I use for a part is 37015, and you have to use 27015 or greater for a part. And the reason for that is I don't know, but it takes up 3 parts: 30715, 3071. It takes up 3 parts afterwards: 3016 afterwards, 3017, and 3018 for this example. So, and then you can set the perspective. Either you can lock them in third person or first person, or you can have them swap between the two. Now, mode, that's like your difficulty. There's easy, normal, hard, and then gold, which of course only gold members would only be allowed to join the server. Now, loadout, that's kind of like a starter kit. Now, I had that 12 there, and I gotta erase that and change that to the actual knife, because when I was on the ID website, it showed the knife for 12, for in-game. And then you got PvE or PvP. Now, PvE is player versus entity, and then PvP is player versus player. Now, if you do PvE, no one can player versus player. They're only going to be able to verse the monsters. Now, if you do PvP, they can verse the monsters and other players. You see what I'm saying? Alright. And then you got a welcome message you can set. So 255. So what I have is welcome to the public PBST, which stands for Proving Basic Secret Team. I'm not going to get into detail why it stands for that. It just stands for that, and my headset cut out there. Now I have server user afterwards, of course, and then this // whatever you'd like to call it, 255. This end right here. That's the color for orange. So this won't show up actually. It'll be orange. And then I have a timeout. So like, timeout is your latency between the servers. So if someone has a 1,500 millisecond ping, then they're going to be timed out. So now I have that so that way if they're lagging that bad that they don't see others move or they can't even move, that it kicks them out. And the reason for that is that way others can join my server. Now if you can't, because my server is going to be 24/7 after this video, because I gotta start it back up, but it'll be most of the time 24/7 unless my power goes out or something like that. Now there's 2 ways of connecting to my server. One, you can start up Unturned and press connect and then type in for the server IP stackablegold.servegame.com, or you can go into servers and try and find the Proving Basic Secret Team shops plus PvP plus more in the server list. Which one you prefer? Now for the part, you'll need 37015 of course, because that's the part that you use to connect to it. So afterwards you got that set up, you need to go into Rocket, Rocket plugins, and then where it says Uconomy, after you make sure you run the server in order for the changes to be affected. Now you'll need to drop the DLLs or the plugins in here. If you come up with any libraries, they need to be put in the libraries folder. Now, just for safety, you could also put the libraries and plugins as well. But I'd suggest to do both because I don't know how both of them work. Anyways, you need to go into Uconomy config, which I have it set to open in WordPad. And then for the database address, you need to make sure it's set to localhost. Same when you go to log in to SQL, or however you say it. For the database username, you'll need to put root, and then the database password, you'll need to put the password that you had. And then remember that database that we created in Hitty, and how we named it Unturned. You'll make sure that it says Unturned here and in here. And then make sure that says Uconomy database part. Make sure that says 3306. Initial balance, you can change that to whatever you want. And I call my money notes because the in-game currency, well, not really currency, it's for really just design and stuff, is called a note. So that's what I call it anyways. And the reason why I did that is because if you were, for example, if you found a note, a $5 note, $10, 20, 50, 100, whatever, and a toonie. A toonie is what Canada in Canada they call it a toonie, and it's worth $2. So, and I have it so you can swap them in between your currency that you can spend in the shop, and then so say I have the $5 note. I could take that and then have that as a as the currency or the money name or whatever it's called, and then that would add, of course, 5 to my balance. And so simple. And then if you want to buy a note, it's gonna cost you 5 for a $5 note. You get it. You get the point. But you can't make money off of that. That's why it's the balance is set like that. Now, you can get money off of it if you were to find notes and cash registers and off of players and stuff. Most notes, most of the time, are used for cloth, I believe, or something else. It's used for something else, but this gives you an extra option with it. That's what I did with this. So, anyways, after you have that configured, I believe you can run your server one more time, and that will be it. Now, the workshop in here, I just have am I missing stuff? It must have moved it. The workshop is like for maps and stuff. So if you had workshop maps that you got, custom maps, I believe you put it in here. So after you run your server, you can either, 1, stop here and not watch port forwarding and try and figure out that yourself, or 2, you're stopping here because you're hosting a LAN server and you just want a LAN server that's got plugins, or 3, you're stopping here because you just want to stop here. Anyways, after that is all said and done, that's pretty much it. Now, what you'll need to do is you'll need to know the password to your router, if your router even has one. Now, the reason why is because some routers require you to have a password to log in. Mine did. I changed it so I don't have to because I'm on a secure network. So anyways, what we'll need to do next is we'll need to go to open up command prompt. So now by default it should run it as administrator, but if it doesn't, make sure to run the command prompt as administrator. And what we'll need to type in is ipconfig, like so. Now if you have an error come up which says ipconfig is not available, you'll need to search up how to enable ipconfig on Windows. And you can do that multiple ways. You can do that through Microsoft's website, through YouTube, however you can find the way to do it. And then what we are looking for is the IP version 4 address. And mine right now is 192.168.0.2. And now your IP version 4 address can change if you were to disconnect and connect to a different router, and then connect back to your home router, and it could change. It just all depends. most of the time your IP version 4 address doesn't change. So after you take note of your IP version 4 address, we will need, also to take note of the gateway. Now, normally to get out into your gateway, you would type in 192.168.0.2, but for others, it could be different. So anyways, after in your gateway, most modems will be the same. You'll have modem setup, quick setup, whatever, but you'll want to go under advanced settings or advanced setup, whatever it is for you, and then look for either one port forwarding or two server host, virtual server, depending on what you're using. And then, so you'll click on that. And I don't know why this is being so slow. And so remember the port we had set in the commands file? Was that the commands? No, in the settings or whatever. Oh, where was that at? I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of a mess. Where's it at? So remember, it was in servers, I believe, and it was in commands. Yep, remember how it said port? Now, normally you'd put 27015. I'm using 27015 is because I have another application using 27015. Well, actually 2700 through 27000 through 27050, so that's why. So anyways, it's going to take up 37015 through 37018, basically. So the starting part you would want to enter would be, so CenturyLink allows you the option to select your device. So here's my device. But you'll need to, where it says enter IP address, you'll need to put the IP address from the IP config here. So I put, 192, but I can just fill it out with this. So, and then for the starting part, you would normally do 27015, and then for the ending part, you would normally do 27018. And then for protocol, you want both TCP and UDP, and then you click apply. But I'm not going to click apply because these ports are already taken up by some applications down here. So that's the only reason why. Oh, yes, I would click apply. So that's pretty much it. Now, if users cannot connect to your server afterwards, it's most likely because your computer won't allow the connections. And so if you're really looking for a good port forwarding video, I'd suggest to go search up how to port forward a unturned server. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I guess you could text me on, or tweet to me on Twitter, and my Twitter is @HelperOBC if you're wondering, and I might be able to get connected to you on that. Anyways, like I said before, if you have any questions, post them in the comments, and that's really it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like, maybe we can get 10 likes on this video. Make sure to share it with your friends that if they want to host an unturned server. And yeah, I'll show you my server. Wait, nah, okay, yeah, about it if you were to connect to it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and until the next video that I release. See you then, guys.